Topping your news leader first at 4. The trial is underway for the man police say orchestrated the deadly shooting of Memphis rapper Young Dolph in 2021. Hernandez Govan is charged with murder, conspiracy, and attempted murder. Thank you for joining us. I'm April Thompson.
I'm Alex Coleman. It was a year after the deadly attack when Govan was indicted. WREG's Jarita Patterson was inside the courtroom when the accused faced a judge and a jury of his peers in a case that could last for several days.
Monday marked day one for the trial of Hernandez Govan, the man state prosecutors are calling the mastermind behind the deadly shooting of Memphis rapper Young Dolph in November of 2021. Govan, flanked by his defense lawyers, made his way into court, sitting motionless once inside, staring straight ahead. The judge first giving jury instructions to the 12 men and women plus 4 alternates who could soon decide the fate of the man charged with murder and conspiracy.
During the course of the trial, you will receive all of the evidence you may properly consider to decide the case.
Prosecutors wasted no time during their opening statements to the jury, telling the attentive group a lot of money was up for grabs for an alleged contract killing.
Govan told Smith that there is a $100,000 bounty on Adolph Thornton's life.
The assistant district attorney went on to describe the aftermath from the alleged murder for hire.
Thornton's body had around 20 gunshot entrance wounds to his neck, his chest, his arms, and a catastrophic injury to his face.
When it was the defense's turn to deliver their opening statement, they began right away with poking holes in the story of one of the state's star witnesses, Cornelius Smith.
And I ask each and every one of you, what would you do if you were facing a mandatory life sentence to get out of it? Why would you need to make so many different statements if you were telling the truth?
From that moment, the state called 2 witnesses, the sister and former bodyguard of Young Dolph, which was followed by an hour-long reset.
YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Doty Rocks back with some real street news. Hey, man, today, man, I got to talk about the day one of the trial of Hernandez Govan, a.k.a. Orange Mount Quet. You know, the man who's the alleged mastermind behind the Young Dolph hit. Most of us know that he is no more than the middleman, the liaison between 100% Jook and that deal. But also, he's the liaison just for CMG and his hit. So that includes Yo Gotti, Ho Gotti, whatever you want to call him. Mr. Mims. So this first day of the trial, the first person that was called up was Young Dolph's sister once again. Y'all remember in the first trial, Justin Johnson, straight drop. They called his sister up merely for a formality to identify her brother as, you know, the one in the pictures. Give a brief conversation about the last time she spoke with him, last time she saw him, what kind of brother he was, you know, stuff like that. You know, the next person they called to the stand was none other than that boy Cornelius Smith, one of the gunmen in the Young Dolph hit. Self-proclaimed gunman, I might add, not alleged. This guy has already admitted to being one of the gunmen. We know the other gunman, straight drop, has been sentenced to life plus 50 for his role. But Cornelius Smith took that stand yesterday, and he, first thing he did was he pointed out Hernandez Govan, a.k.a. Orange Mount Quet. He pointed him out in the courtroom, described what he had on, and then he went into his full confession about everything that happened. And this is all stuff we already heard. You know, he said he was introduced to Jook by Govan. He knew Govan because he was buying pills from Govan. So he said he met Govan after, you know, Bobby which I'm assuming is CEO Bobby, whose name popped up very early in this investigation. If y'all remember, CEO Bobby was one of the first names to pop up because they shot a music video in front of the house where the car was found at. Y'all remember that? So CEO Bobby was one of the first names that came up, but his name came up a lot in this first day because Corn obviously was getting pills through Bobby, which was going to Quet to get those pills. Now, Corn is saying that CEO Bobby basically lived across the street, a couple houses down from Quet. So he would go to his homie Bobby, associate Bobby, who probably was just making a couple of hours off him himself, going over and getting them for 6 eb, knocking the pills to him for 10, or whatever the case may be. But he said one day Bobby wasn't available to take him over to get them pills. And that boy was fiending, you know what I mean? So he went himself. Introduced himself to Quet officially. He said after a few plays, that boy Quet came to him and was asking him, do you want to make some money? Some real money? He said that's when the list, the bounty list, you know, the 100 for Dolph, the 50 for Wu, the 50 for Glock. That's when that list was announced to him. He said Govan recruited him for that. And he also recruited Straight Drop. He said that, matter of fact, CEO Bobby was supposed to be included. And that boy Bobby backed out. He said Bobby was acting a little funny. So Quet told him, no, don't even worry about Bobby. Don't link up with Straight Drop. Straight Drop's about their business. Now, one of the first incidents he said he got into it with, as far as this list, was him, Straight Drop, a couple other guys, and he's name dropping in court. He's not holding nothing back, you know, other than probably a little bit of stuff he did, but everybody else, he's going to give it a 100 truth. You know, he's going to hide some of his stuff, but he is trying to make a case for himself to get a little, you know, a little leniency. But he said that boy Hernandez Govan, he knows Paper Route Wu's mama. He said that Paper Route Wu's mama likes him. They're very cordial. And Quet was using information from Paper Route Wu's mama to set up Paper Route Wu and other members to find out where they at. You know what I'm saying? This boy Quet is a grimy son of a bitch. Now, if Paper Route Wu would have got blown down, he most likely would have went right around his mama, Paper Route Wu's mama, as if he didn't know anything about it, consoling him. Stuff like that. This is the type of niggas we got in the street, man. You gotta be wary of these snake, crab in the bucket ass niggas who will eat their own motherfucking tail off to eat. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely will feed you to the sharks. But anyways, he said that they had the drop on Paper Route Wu. He said he was coming around with his gun that Quet gave to him, Hernandez Govan. He said he seen Paper Route Wu coming out the house, and Paper Route Wu already had a gun in hand. From that point, he said a shootout ensued. He said, yeah, Paper Route Wu definitely was busting back at him. And we know Paper Route Wu survived that attempt on his life, man. So this right here was not even something that was out there like that. That's why I'm saying he's providing details and information that we pretty much finding out on the go. Some of it. It's how you know it's legit. So Paper Route Wu was able to escape that right there. No, he also said that they had saw Dolph at a gas station. Now, somebody saw Dolph at a gas station. So they knew he was in town, right? Now, this will be the video the gas station when Dolph is outside pumping the gas. And we see, looks like 3 or 4 gentlemen in a SUV, a truck, on a pump not too far from him, while a female was recording Dolph. This female could have been recording Dolph to drop that information to these guys. That's just really what it seems like it was. Verification that Dolph was in the city. You know what I'm saying? So some of the things Corn's saying is going to wrap other people up in this situation. You know, CEO Bobby, other names coming up, the other shooters that was with him on the Wu situation, the other shooters that was in the other car. We heard from witnesses there was another car in that Dolph shooting. It could be more arrests, but just off the back of this, but not the arrest we're looking for. The arrest we're looking for is going to be the CMG, a big head Yo Gotti. Now it's not 100% evidence pointing towards Gotti, but man, between Corn and more importantly, Hernandez Govan's lawyer, Manny Aurora, who is a high-profile lawyer, by the way. Yo Gotti's name is creeping in there, slowly but surely. Because Manny Aurora wants this to be off of his client. He's already trying to place 100% of the blame on Jook and spread that blame throughout CMG. He made it a fact to get Corn to discuss where that money from his lawyer came up. Where it come from. $36,000, $50,000, whatever it was. And Corn, under oath, had to admit, even after a couple times not saying he don't know where it came from, like it magically appeared, had to admit that it came from Jook's lawyer, a.k.a. CMG lawyer. He had to admit that. So in turn, that pulls Gotti in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? As that day went on, Gotti's name came up more. Manny Aurora was painting the picture that this war was between CMG and Dolph. Yo Gotti's tour bus was shot up, and then this happened to Dolph. He's starting to paint that picture, man, putting big head Yo Gotti in the situation. I know he was over nervous watching this. I know he watched it, of course. He had to be getting nervous as hell because his name is definitely creeping up in this situation. Which this is something that real Young Dolph fans know is the truth. The 4 attempts on his life, he had something to do with this. The same way that Hernandez Govan's lawyer is saying, look, my client's broke. He's a nobody. He's not CMG. He's not Yo Gotti. This is words coming from his lawyer, Manny Aurora. Very respected, high-profile, expensive lawyer. He said that his client's broke. He don't have any money. He couldn't possibly be paying for hits. He's a nobody. Well, answer this question, Manny Aurora. How the hell is he affording you? How is he affording a high-profile murder lawyer from Atlanta? Very high-profile. This guy is on MSNBC as an analyst. He's on different legal shows as an analyst, and he's represented some high-profile cases. He's been in some high-profile situations. Manny Aurora's a real deal. So how's he affording you then? Had to be at least $100,000 retainer for you. So is your lawyer fees being paid by CMG also, Manny Aurora? Is Yo Gotti funding this situation as well? Is Lil Flip helping his friend in this situation? Or are you paid by Hernandez Govan? And if so, where did that money come from? Because if Hernandez Govan was facilitating the hit, you know he got some money. This is regular street shit. If I'm giving $500,000 to get this list knocked off, and I can get it done for $100,000 and source it out to these little goon / loser / dope fiends, then that's of course what he's gonna do. So is that what happened? CMG still paying for his lawyers. It's a little flip. But you said it yourself, Manny. This man is broke. He's a nobody. So how the hell is he paying for you? We know you ain't doing this out of the kindness of your heart, bro. We know that ain't happening. But this first day, man, very interesting things brought up. Yo Gotti might want to be on his P's and Q's. We know him and Angela split up. We know that he's starting to try to get some music going, this and that. So he may very well know that some smoke is coming his way. He might just be preparing for that smoke to come his way. He might not necessarily believe it's coming, but you know, when you done something, sometimes you want to line yourself up just in case they get close enough to you. You know what I'm saying? They're getting really close. You know, we don't know who took out Jook. Could have been PRE side, and it could have been Mario Mims side. Who's benefiting more from Big Jook being out the way? I'd have to say it's Yo Gotti. He's benefiting way more than Hernandez Govan. Govan's still in hot water. Govan ain't escaped nothing. With Jook out the way, it's nothing to tie Govan to Yo Gotti. I'm sure these guys have a relationship, but not the type of relationship that Big Jook and Quet got. But his lawyer is starting to try to paint that picture that this is not his client's war. It's Yo Gotti's war. It's CMG's war. If he just says CMG, we know that's Yo Gotti, bro. For all these guys out there talking about Yo Gotti ain't getting implicated, that is a lie. They implicating CMG, that is Yo Gotti. That's not Big Jook. Big Jook is nothing. Matter of fact, let's put it this way. If Yo Gotti and if Big Jook and Hernandez Govan switch places in life, Big Jook would be the broke guy over here, not doing nothing. If he was not Yo Gotti's brother, he'll be broke also. Remember, Dolph used to front him and Quet. Dolph was putting food on his table when Gotti didn't mess with him. Remember he said that? Quet's lawyer, Hernandez Govan's lawyer, brought up the 100 Shot song. He mentioned Gotti by name at least 2-3 times. Says CMG a lot of times. And he's dropping inklings about the rivalry between CMG and PRE. So Hernandez Govan and his lawyer are low-key dry snitching on Yo Gotti. They want their heat off Hernandez Govan. They putting it on Yo Gotti. Not just on Jook, which I thought they would try to slide on Jook, but I'm hearing Gotti, and you know what, Gotti, you should be worried. Man, jump in the comments and tell me what you jump in the comment section and tell me what you think. Is that boy Yo Gotti gonna be in trouble? Should Yo Gotti be in trouble? Do you think Hernandez Govan gonna get off with this? And one of my favorite questions is, who y'all think's paying for this lawyer? One word answer, man. Tell me who y'all think's paying for this lawyer. Flip, CMG, out of hit money. Smash the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with a day 2 analysis of the trial. Should get more interesting. But until next time, YouTube, thank you for tuning in, and 1.